Okay, so in the last video, I tore down this Johnson 9.9 boat motor. Today I'm going to be cleaning the carb. I got what you will need out, so I got these little picks. Get them at Harbor Freight for like $4. I got these is another these are just welding tip cleaners. You get these anywhere that sells welding stuff. They just work handy for different jets and stuff like that. And then I got these. These I think I got from Harbor Freight too for like $1 or something. They're just little pipe cleaners. They work good too, but that is what you will need. And then obviously you'll need like a screwdriver, which flathead for this, but whatever other odd and ends you need for what yours is. Yours could be a little different depending on year. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take these 4 screws out. 1, 2, 3, 4 right here to take the bowl off. Okay, just like that, the bowl should pop right off. Might have to wiggle it a little bit. Just like that. This bowl should pop right off. And then verify your gasket. Go ahead and peel your gasket off. This thing smells like some nasty gas. Okay. So I'm going to take my carb cleaner and I'm going to go ahead and spray all this gunk out. Just a light. I'm going to kind of let it soak in there. I'll just let this sit. I always clean the bowls last because I like to fill them with carb cleaner, and I'll sit them back. And then now we'll go ahead and we'll get this float. You can make sure the float works by just flipping it upside down and making sure it goes back down if you flick it. So it shouldn't stick. It should go back down. There should be a needle in here. Right there, you should see that needle. It's that needle right there where it pushes in. Just want to make sure the needle doesn't stick and stuff. But we're going to go ahead and take this out. And it should just pop through. So this is what these picks come handy for, is these little needles. You should be able to just take it and just pop it through them. Just like that. And then pull that little pin out, and then this should pop right out, and that needle should come with it. Verify the tip of that needle there by just touching on it, by just making sure it's not too stiff and it's still neat, that tip is still soft. And once you verify that, you can put that to the side, and then now we will go and take this jet out. You might need a bigger screwdriver. Okay. That jet should just screw out, just like so. And then take this jet and just look up at the light with it and make sure you can see through. And this jet can be seen through, as you can see. So we'll run carb cleaner through all this stuff, but It's just a good little thing. And then, yeah, so now we'll just take some carb cleaner. We're just going to run it through here. There is a pilot jet down in here, but I'm not going to take, I'll take it out and show you because it should be clean. I'm just running carb cleaner right down through here, and then okay, take my other screwdriver, get that second jet out. This jet down in here is all chipped up. I don't know why it's all chipped up exactly, but it just is. So I can't really get it out, so I'm gonna clean this the best I can with not being able to take that jet out. I've tried to take it out, but it's all chipped up in there. So we're just gonna leave it. We're going to move on, and just pretty much I've gone through, just go through these ports. This port, make sure it's clean. This goes to the gas. This is where the gas intakes. So just make sure it blows through. Make sure this blows through that little port in there. That port right there. Make sure it blows through. This port goes through in here, and then just make sure the jets are all cleaned out. You can just put your stuff right there like that, and you can clear out these jets. Just make sure everything is clean and able to be blown through. Make sure everything's cleaned off. And then just make sure this is clean. This has been soaking, so now we'll take some towels and we will wipe it out. Just like so. We'll just wipe this. Just wipe it out. And then just verify this gasket, kind of bend it like this and make sure that there is nothing. Just verify it, bend it, make sure there's no cracks or anything, like no dry rot, nothing like that. This gasket looks good, it feels good, it doesn't look like anything's wrong with it. So just verify all that, make sure it looks nice, give it a little clean off before you put it on, and then it should be good. So let's go ahead and drop that gasket back on there, and we're going to set that to the side. So now what we're going to do is just do the reverse. So make sure your needle, which you can, if this needle does fall off, it just slide it back on like this. Once it focuses, just slide it back on like that, and it should just sit on there. And then what you do is you'll just literally drop it down just like that, just like that. Just drop it down, straight down. So these little pieces like this, where there's like that little hollow shape out of it like that, would go down towards this. Make sure that needle sits down into that hole, just like that, and then just take this little pin that you had, and we'll just pop that right through. Pop that right through there. Just like that. And then now verify again that it floats. Make sure it pushes that needle up. Where that needle is, make sure it pushes it. Just like so. Just like that. See how it's pushing on it? You just want to make sure that it's pushing down like that. Just like that. So it's popping back and popping back down. And then we will flip that back over. We're going to pop this main jet back in. Just make sure you don't cross thread or anything. Just hand tighten it, or hand screw it back in for the beginning, and then grab your big flat head and go ahead and make this flush just like that. And then we will take our bowl make sure your gasket's back on it. Sit my gasket down, and then we'll sit that bowl back down on, just like so. And then we'll take our screws and we'll drop our screws back down. And we'll screw them back down. When I always tighten anything that has more than one screw, or more than 2 screws I should say, I always do it in some type of like crisscross star or some type of pattern so you screw down evenly on anything. It's just a good habit to get into. Do it anyways, no matter what it is. I do it on these just because, like I said, it's a good habit. So you can go ahead and just, I'll put this in evenly with just a crisscross pattern because there's only 4 screws. So we'll go, we put the first one back here, now we're putting this one in. Snug this one up. Now this carb was not very dirty. Real quick, we'll just snug this one all the way down now. This far one, snug it down. Snug this far one down, and then we'll go back over to this one. We'll finish snugging it down all the way. And we'll pop over back onto this side and snug this one back down, or snug this one down the rest of the way. And then we'll go down to this one and snug it down the rest of the way. And there you go. Now it's back together. And that's all there is to it. Obviously, this is just the carb clean. Depending on the carb, it might be less dirty or more dirty. If it's more dirty, obviously these different things that I told you that you can use, these are just good tools to have. Obviously, you always need probably some type of screwdriver for a carb clean. You have this, and then this is more of an abrasive brush. They sell packs of these that are like a few bucks at Harbor Freight or Lowe's or wherever sells these little tiny abrasive brushes. This one's a wire brush. I like the wire brush sometimes for harder stuff, but there's also like a little tiny like more of like a horsehair brush or whatever you want to call it, like little nylon brushes that they have. These things work good, these little pipe cleaners. These are things, I just found these one day, I think in the painting section at Harbor Freight. They work really well though. They're really nice to clean. And then obviously these little welding tips are always a good tool to have for stuff like this. Just stuff to look. These things are $4. You can get nicer sets of these. These things are just nice because they're not the best. So they bend, they fold. This one is literally is bent at the end and stuff. So they do break, but they're so cheap that it really doesn't matter. And they have different kinds. They have like these different ones like that work really well. But this is the tools you need. Obviously, can of carb cleaner, whatever can you got. This is just gum out, which is just a pretty typical carb cleaner. And then, yeah, this was a very simple clean. There was not much to this. In the next video, because this is part 2, in the next video we'll be doing the install and then we'll tune it and do everything that way. So this was just a solely for the actual carb clean, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that helped somebody out there. I hope it really did. So yeah, I think that is it. I think the next video we'll be putting this thing back together, and then we'll be seeing if it ran. I got muffs for it so we can start it and everything. And we'll be putting this thing back together, and hopefully we'll be running it, and I will show you guys how to tune it properly for this lean and rich screw that they have on here. We'll show you how to tune that properly, and we'll show how to put everything back together and assemble it in part 3. So hope you guys enjoyed this little part series so far. It's been pretty good. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content, and yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.